All right, welcome back. And now I want to click on the email subject and want to see the preview of the email. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll actually create a new URL pattern. I will go to urs.py and create a new URL pattern. Okay. So I'll just copy this one and paste it here. So instead of dashboard, I'll say stats. So this stats will actually take the primary key, because stat is specific to the email, right? For the particular email we want to see the stats. Okay, so that's why it takes the primary key and views dot track stats. Okay, and then the name will be track stats. Okay, track stats. Now I'll create this view as well and define track stats, and I'll say a request comma pk. Okay, now return render request comma emails forward slash, we need the page, right? So for that we'll simply say track stats dot html. Okay, so now when we access this, we want to go to this track stat dot html, and we need this html page as well. Okay, so inside the templates emails, we'll create a new file and name it as trackstats.html, and let's quickly extend the base template, extends base.html. Okay, now I'll also put the block content and then end block. All right. Okay, so I want to make this subject a link, right? So for that I'll actually go to my track dashboard.html. Okay, so here inside, in here. Okay, so I want to put this inside the anchor tag. Okay, I'll just cut it. Okay, I'll open this curly braces, percentage. Okay, I'm sorry, this should be, I should actually open a tag. Okay, so inside the a tag I should put this email dot subject, and inside this href attribute I'll have to print the URL. Okay, URL space, inside the single quotation I'll say track underscore stats. After this single quotation ends, we need to also pass the primary key, right? So which is email dot id or email dot pk. Okay, I'll simply say email dot id. Now let's try to refresh this page. Okay, now when I refresh this page and when I click on here, you can see it is actually coming to 14. I mean stats forward slash primary key, it is 14, right? If I go back and click on here, it is actually 13. Okay, so this is the stats page. Okay, so in this stats page I want to display the email preview. Okay, so that email is this one, right? I want to display all these information. Okay, all these email body and all that stuff. Now I'll go to track dashboard.html. I mean track stats.html. Okay, so first of all I'll create a div with the class container. Okay, and I'll put a h2 tag with the text center. Also will set a p5. Okay, h2 tag with the class text center padding 5. Okay, so I'll write email statistics, email statistics, and let's see how it looks. All right, I go to here and email statistics, and now I'll do some HTML styling. I'll put some HTML elements. Okay, so with the div with the class row. Okay, it is not a rock, it is a row. Okay, div with the class row. Again I'll say div with the class column MD6 MX auto, because I want one MD6 column which should be aligned center. Okay, so that's why I'm setting this div class call MD6 space MX auto. All right, now inside this column MD6, I want to display one card. Okay, so if you go to bootstrap cards, or if this bootstrap table is open, you can simply search for cards. Okay, so inside this bootstrap cards, you can get the card HTML elements. Okay, just give me a second. Yeah, you can take this card, or you can also take this card. Okay, you see this card. Simply go to this bootstrap documentation and take the card HTML and copy, and just go here and paste it. Okay, here just paste it as it is. Let's see how it looks. Yeah, here you can see this is actually column 6. Okay, so if you want to make it bigger, what you can do is you can actually increase this one, call MD. If you want to make it 8, just increase this, make it 8, and refresh. You see, now it is showing bigger. Okay, so we'll actually edit this a little bit. Okay, I'll go back to the code, and we don't want this block quote. First of all, we will take care of this card header. Okay, so the card header, we need two sections. In the left side, we'll actually put the total sent and sent at timing. On the right side, we'll put the opened and click rate. Okay, so inside this card header, just delete this quote and just say div with the class row. Okay, div with the class row, and div with the class column MD6, because we want to divide this row half, right? So that's why I'm saying div call MD6. Okay, so inside here I'll say total emails sent. Okay, so we want the count, right? So inside the b tag we'll just set it 0. Okay, because we still want to count the emails. We need to make the calculations, but for now let's set it as 0. Okay, and then sent at, inside the b tag I'll say this. Okay, so we don't have any object here, right? So sent at, we'll put the date here. Okay, so just put any static thing here. It's just we are actually designing this part. Refresh. All right, maybe we'll put one br. Okay, we'll put one br here, so that it comes just below this total sent and sent it. Okay, so these things are static now. Now here on the right side, I want to print the opened and click rate. Okay, so I'll again go back to my HTML and I'll copy this whole thing. Copy and enter and just paste it. So here I'll say opened 0%. Okay, because we are yet to calculate this opened and click rate, right? This is also 0%. Okay, now let's refresh. Okay, so I want this opened and clicked on the right side. Okay, it should be here. So for that reason, I'll put a class called text end. Okay, text right is there, but in Bootstrap 5 it is text end. Okay, let's refresh. Okay, total sent and everything is here. So we'll do the calculation later stages of this section and print the dynamic values here. But because this is the preview of the email, we want to actually show the preview, right? Subject and email body and all those stuff, right? So we'll write the view. Okay, so go to this track stats view, and based on the primary key, we'll take the email. Okay, email object. So we'll say email is equal to we are already getting the primary key, right? So when we click on this link, you see we are getting the primary key 14. Click on this and you are getting this primary key 22, right? So based on that primary key, we can take the email object, right? So it is a get object or 404. Okay, so get object of 404, and this get object of 404 we need to import. It actually comes from shortcuts. Okay, so Django.shortcuts, import render, redirect, and get object or, okay, so it is not get list, it is get object or 404. We are just saying with this primary key, we want to get the object of this email model. Okay, email comma primary key is equal to pk. Okay, pk is equal to pk, so that if we have the email object with this primary key, then it will give us the object, otherwise it will give us the 404 error. Okay, so when we get this email object, we will simply pass it to the context. Context is equal to email colon email, and simply pass this context to our HTML page. Okay, now our email object is available inside trackstats.html. All right, now we'll simply see this sent it. We have that data inside this email model, right? So that's why we can print the dynamic sent date here. Okay, email dot sent underscore at. If you refresh this page, okay, so you can see it is there, and these three things we have to calculate, that we'll do later. But let's quickly print the subject. Okay, so in the card body, right, we'll have to put that subject here inside this card body. And you know what, we don't need this block quote and all. I'll delete. So just keep this card body. Okay, so here I'll put h4. In the h4 I will print the email subject, email dot subject. Okay, email subject. Let me quickly refresh. Okay, so this is my subject, and if I go here, test with attachment. Okay, so I'm getting the proper subject or proper email based on this primary key. And these things are actually simple. Okay, so we are yet to calculate this open and click rate, so that is what the most challenging part. Okay, so these things I'm just making it for the purpose of displaying the preview of the email, that's all. Okay, so now in order to print the email body, so I'll create a div with the class of mail body. Okay, here I will actually say email dot body. Okay, email dot body. Now let's refresh. Okay, so if I go to this, you see, so these are actually simple text, but if you click on this one, the recent ones, which has the color and HTML things, you see this is what it is showing. Okay, so it is not printing it properly, it's just printing the HTML tags. Okay, so in order to print those HTML element properly, you'll have to put one filter called safe. Okay, just put safe like this, and now if you refresh, you can see it is properly printing the HTML tags. All right, and next I want to check if there is any attachment. If there is any attachment, we'll print it. If there is no attachment, then we'll not print anything. Okay, maybe we'll say no attachment. So once this div completes, I'll check if there is attachment or not. If email dot attachment, if email dot attachment, just say else. Okay, if there is no attachment, just end if. Okay, so if email dot attachment, then we'll have to print the attachment. Okay, so we'll say div with the class attachment, okay, attachment, and we'll print the img tag. Okay, so inside this alt we'll say email attachment, let's say the width will be 100%. Okay, width will be 100%. And the source, okay, in this source, if you want to print the image here, what we'll have to do is we'll have, okay, so it is not a percentage symbol, it is just a curly braces. Okay, email dot attachment dot url, okay, because we want to print the url of the image inside this src attribute. Okay, so only then it will show the image. In case if there is no attachment, then what we'll do, we'll simply say div with the class no attachment, we'll say p tag, say no attachment. Okay, now let's refresh. Okay, so this one has the image attachment, so that's why it is showing the image, but this one does, okay, this one has no attachment. Okay, so that's why it is saying no attachment, and this one no attachment. Okay, if there is attachment, it will show the attachment. All right, so that's about the email statistics preview page. In the next one, we'll work on how to count this number, total sent numbers. Okay, so we'll take care of this one and this one as well. Okay, so that's it for this video, and we'll see you in the next one.